All right, what's up, YouTube fam? This is just a simple episode of pepper porn. We've seen the Carolina Reapers. Now we want to see the adjustment in color where they've gotten so far. Now, I'm kind of concerned because some of them just don't want to change color, but some are. I just hope that the ones that, like this one, that has changed color, doesn't go bad before someone's like this decide to change color. So with that, we're just going to get an overview, if you will. Uh-oh. Got a problem, Houston. My mango green tea is run out. These are so good. You can get these downtown Houston at Long Coffee. That's wonderful. Now, you seen this one the other day? That gnarly joker. This one's starting to get its color on. Yeah, I should probably turn the washing machine off. Look how this one is all green at the bottom. Isn't that cool? I was asked the question, why did they pick them green? I said, well, these are at a farmer's market, and at a farmer's market, it's not like you and me going and grabbing peppers and eating them off the vine. They pick them green so that they'll last longer during sale. They got more time to sell before they go bad. Makes perfect sense to me. All right. Happy Saturday afternoon to everybody, by the way. We're going to go watch dirt track racing tonight in Cleveland, Texas. Starting to come along. I figure another week and all of them will be good. I just hope that the ones that have turned red won't go bad in that time. I don't think they will, but there's going to be a happy medium. I'm just going to have to do this where some of them probably not going to be red at that point. But as I've noticed, it's got some leaves up in there. As I have noticed from the past, that most pods have pretty much gotten as hot as they're going to get once they've turned green and have started making any kind of color at all. Matter of fact, me and Uncle Boca had the conversation yesterday where he was talking about, he swears up and down that this, I forget what pod it was that he was eating, but when he ate one that was green and it was considerably hotter than one that had turned. Was it a coincidence of the pod? Was the pod just that much hotter anyway? Well, I know for a fact I've done that several times with my chocolate bootlas. I've eaten a green chocolate bootla, and it appears to have a stronger, maybe a little bit hotter taste to it. It could be because it had maybe a little more acidic, and it's just giving off the idea that it's hotter. I don't know. But my thing is, here's my thing. Obviously, these are off the plant. All right, the stem is not attached to the plant anymore. Can it still get oils? Will it produce oils as it's changing color, or does it already have oils when it's this color? I mean, I know it has oils, but does it have the most it's going to get? I'll never forget my grandparents. They were farmers. My mama, I've told this story before. She would always lay some peppers. Of course, we didn't have super hots back then. The best they had was probably maybe a cayenne or, jalapeno. They weren't even jalapeno because they were smaller. They were more like a chili-sized, a Thai chili-sized pepper, like a Tabasco or something. And she would lay them in the window and let them ripen, turn color. And she always said they got hotter when they did that. Well, to me, I always remember them kind of drying out. And so it may have made it seem like they were a little hotter. Don't know. I don't know. But I do know when I ate one of these green the other night when we were still in Louisiana, these are not for the faint of heart. They are warm, guys. They are warm. Like I said, these quite possibly could be some of the hotter Reapers I've ever eaten. It's only that you know that if you ate them all together or around the same time. Sometimes together you really can't tell, especially depending on how low or high your tolerance is. But if you can always say, oh man, this one's definitely hotter than that other one. Well, your tolerance might have been higher at the time you ate the other one. Just don't know. You just kind of got to gauge that upon your own intellect. I've seen where Sergeant Dunn had he's got a new tincture coming out, the Four Horsemen, and he sent me a list of the ingredients of said Four Horsemen. It's going to be a burner. Y'all be on the lookout for that. Y'all be on the lookout for that. And I want to thank a few. I've gotten like 5 or 6 new subscribers. And I would like to thank James P0rn because he had mentioned me in his channel. And all of a sudden, I picked up a few more subscribers. So I'm pretty sure that's in reflection to them, because I kind of went and looked and see who subscribed. And seems to be a connection there. So I want to thank them for being on my channel. And for him mentioning my channel and getting some more growth. And stay in the comments, guys, for my new subscribers. I'm very interactive with you. I'd like to get to know you, and the more I get to know you, the more I'll start mentioning you if you create content, especially. Pepper porn. Should I label this video pepper porn, or will I get a strike? Will YouTube come down on me for writing that in there? Sometimes you got to be careful. I'm not monetized yet. Getting pretty darn close. I got way more watch hours than I ever should need. And people ask me, why don't I do lives? Well, for one, I would love to do a live, but a lot of people do live. Not everybody. A lot of people do lives to get watched hours, because you can get a lot of time in with lives, and I just don't need it. But I would love to interact with you guys live. Not a problem at all. It's just a lot of times. There was one time I was going to go live with a certain challenge. I don't remember which one it was. Maybe it was the 10 Reapers I ate. I don't remember. This one would be a good one to go live with, though, wouldn't it? Yeah, it would actually help me push, knowing I had people. But I've noticed a lot of my friends that go live, they only have 4 or 5 people on there. You know, I would like to have a better audience at that time. And advertising, because I don't know when a lot of my friends are going live. YouTube just don't tell me. And then I'll just happen, sometimes I'll pop in and I'll see somebody's live and I'll go pop in for a few minutes. I may not have much time to spend, but I try to support. And I'm definitely interested in what they're talking about, because it's what we do. But it's not every time I can get on there. And some people don't like you getting on there and popping right off, because it makes them feel like their content is less interesting. And I understand, I would feel the same way. So sometimes I don't like to do that, just because I know I don't have any time to. I may only have 2 minutes. So I will get on and say, hey, I'm only on for a few seconds, and then I got to run. I just come on to support. But as you see, a lot of them are still green, and I'm afraid that I'm going to end up having to do a lot of this challenge with some of them still green. So to me, that's okay. But I think some people, there's always that guy. There's always that one that's going to be, well, you got as far as you did because they were green. Well, no. I can promise you, this pepper right here is just as hot as this pepper right here. I promise you. But when you're talking to people that have been doing this a while, they'll know. But there's a lot of people that haven't, and the newbies and stuff like that, and it's just a different game. Sometimes you just have to do these videos in layman's terms, because sometimes we get to talking about stuff that other people don't know about, and it's kind of like writing a book, and you don't want to use really big words. Your best books are written on 3rd grade level. I'm not calling these people 3rd grade, but Ice Cream Man just came through just a few minutes ago, so it's like, that's the washing machine finishing up. It's telling me I need to get off of here. cut it out. but yeah, if you keep it basic, if a person stumbles on a word, they're going to lose track of what you're talking about. Yeah, they're going to have to, what did he, I don't know what he meant. So he can't really follow it. And if he stops and has to go look it up, then he's not going to get back into what they were doing. You lose your focus there. So you got to keep things kind of simple. And I'm not calling people stupid by any stretch of imagination, because I'm not the smartest one to be able to do that. But what I am saying is I like to keep people's attention. I like to keep it simple. And if I start going and rambling off a whole bunch of stuff and losing people's interest, that's obviously what's going to happen. But yeah, that's my other thing. Yeah, I see something shiny, I'm like a squirrel. Hey, I lose my train of thought quick. If I start talking, that's me. I get to talking about stuff and it starts going this way and that way, and all of a sudden, right here is where I was trying to go, and I lost it. There was something I was going to talk about on this, and it's a goner right now. But it'll come back around later. It always does. But that's a little bit of our pepper porn for today, and I'm fixing to get some things ready. And like I said earlier, let's go racing! Y'all be looking for that video too, because we're going to 105 Speedway in Cleveland, Texas to watch the sprint cars tonight. So that'll be coming up. I'm excited because I hadn't been to a dirt track in probably 3 years. And I miss it. I grew up in it. And it's crazy that I haven't been there that long. And I was invited, one of our neighbors, she runs the same sprints I used to run. And a couple weeks ago, she invited me to come out to 105 and race. And we had things going on that evening. I couldn't, unfortunately. And I'm like, I gotta get out there. So we had a customer come by yesterday, and her husband runs a sprint car. So we're gonna go out there and watch and enjoy it, man. This is gonna be Saturday night. All right, y'all. Real quick, it came right back to me just as I shut the camera off. That's the way it goes. What I was gonna talk about, and this won't take but just a few minutes, is knowing me, it's gonna take longer than that. I was told to get a gram scale for this challenge to see how much weight we have with these pods. Some of them are rather small, some are got good size. And I'm like, I can do that. I can do that to appease the crowd. But here we all know, especially when you can ask any pepper grower, myself included, the smaller the pod does not mean that it's less hot. In fact, more often than not, the smaller the pod, the hotter it is. It's definitely generally hotter than the bigger pods. Now, you're going to get a bigger pod that's going to be hotter than a smaller pod. It's going to happen. But as a rule, by doing it in weight, is really just more for a belly fill, how much volume you've done. Because I can grab a pod off of my plant up there in Chocolate Bootless, Reapers, you name it. And if I grab the smaller one and the bigger one, which I have some this big and I have some this big, I can guarantee you this one that's this big is going to be at least as hot as that one that's that big. So it's a fallacy, in my opinion, and I think that's a very accurate assessment, that weighing the peppers is, and it's the same thing as the count. Just because you're getting a count on them doesn't mean it's just the person that really knows is the person that's actually consuming them. The viewer is never really going to know how hot that is. Only way they'll even remotely get close enough to know how hot that is if they have enough interaction with the consumer to know their reaction to what they're doing, to where they know that it's that hot. And that's usually not an acting kind of situation. It shows in the face, not in emotion, but it shows in the face. So there's flaws in all this. The only way to truly, and it's too expensive to do it, is to have each pepper tested on a Scoville and know exactly the number you got, the whole package there, the whole mound, so to speak. So with that, I'll weigh them, no problem. I'll give you a count of them, no problem. But there again, we're not putting this in the Guinness Book of World Records, but speaking of world records, I'm waiting on some Thai peppers, Brad Warden. Some of my Thai peppers are turning red out there. Now, I was going to do it with Tabascos, but those Tabascos are a little bit hotter than those Thai peppers, so I'm not going to do it with that. I'm going to do it with the Thai peppers, and I'm going to see if I can beat Brad Warden's world record. He's got a world record Thai pepper eating challenge. I'm going to see if I can do that, but we're just waiting on them all to turn red, kind of like these Reapers. Now, there's one more thing that I want to talk about, and that is about these pepper eating contests. Now, what's flawed in that is in any heat chili eating contest, it should never be about like a foodie, like how much you can eat. It should be how hot of how much or how fast you can eat, not a speed eating contest. At the end of these world champions, they're doing it on world champion levels, you know. I mean, they call themselves world champions, but, you know, any area can do that. You know, it's not like if you say you're the world champion, this is the world champions. It doesn't necessarily mean it really is the world champions. It's called the world champions. Now, some are respected enough to where they hold that in that high regard because of the competition. But that being said, any chili eating contest, you should have enough peppers, and you do, to go as long as you need to go. This should not be about, hey, we're running out of time, we need to wrap this up. No. If somebody's starting to give a signal to somebody or whatever they're doing, that they're about to go, and all of a sudden, hey, it's time for a speed round, and the other dude's over there just like, I'm good to go. No, we can keep this up. No. It's time for a speed round. We need to do a speed round right now. We need to do a speed round. But I can't eat peppers that fast, and I'm not even burning up. And she's about to tap, or he's about to tap. No, we need to do a speed round. It's time for a speed round. Should not happen. Should not happen. I've seen so many pepper contests where someone will win on a speed round, and they're over there in panic mode, and the second place person is over there shaking hands up, not even drinking milk, not doing nothing. This other person's in panic mode over there drinking milk. It's happened several times. That's where things are flawed. And there's a lot of flaw in leagues and stuff like that, and that's why I don't indulge in any of that kind of stuff anymore. But I love doing it like this, and I will go do a pepper contest where there's got to be some around here. I know there's one coming up in Dallas sometime soon. I would like to go do that if I can get away. That's the problem, if I can get away. But if there's one around here, around anything, hell, later on, I'll travel to North Carolina to do that one. I'd love to do it. But the thing about it is having the time to get away. And if I find out they got a speed round at the end of it, I'm probably not going to participate because I'm not good at speed rounds either. So, you know, we've done some fun things on here, like downloading the nudes. You know, we eat the ramen noodles really fast, stuff like that. I did okay at that. But I know that there's people that could probably eat those peppers faster than I can. So, that being said, let's get this racing going on, and let's have our fun Saturday night special.